Like it.
Yeah,
Says we're live.
yeah. Blue pink number four there. The cap, I haven't sealed it yet. So I want to see how I feel about the way it flows, and I might want to try to get it a little stringier or anything, but that one, it's just, they have those on Amazon still, the chrome with pink wax blue fluid, but it arrived really cloudy. So all I've done is filter that liquid. But otherwise, that's the stock, the stock liquid, stock wax, and the way it normally flows. So I was considering adding a little bit of surfactant to make it kind of a little stretchier. Um, but we'll see. And I got to figure out how to get the number one right here all flowing better because this is just kind of, it doesn't actually blurp, you know. So, yeah, something is needed there to um, get the wax to go further up in there. It's not, um,
Is the
it's
bulb
not,
maybe going bad?
huh? Oh,
Or
no, the
maybe it's
bulb
not
is
getting hot
fine.
enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's at full strength and stuff. So this is a completely new fluid, um, and just started with completely just distilled water. So it was kind of expected to need to do something to change the density a little bit. Um, but most of the modern lava lamps are tuned and tweaked. The wax recipe is made essentially to work with just distilled water with a little bit of surfactant to keep things from sticking to the globes. So there's usually not too much that you need to do other than that. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Um, the Up to this point, the fluid that I've been using, including on this one over here, this is orange wax, and the fluid is just clear. Um, I've added propylene glycol. I've added to it, which is, um, just a food grade um, for moisturizer, solvent, humectant. So it's
Vape fluid.
yeah, um, basically, yeah. Um, Nicotine-free vape fluid. I hadn't realized, hadn't made that connection or thought of that, but yes. And it's a little bit more dense than water. So adding that to the water um, would mean that when the wax expands, it, the water is more dense, will want to stay lower, and by extension, that will mean that the wax will be pushed higher. But there's a limit, um, and it affects not just the density, but the viscosity of the water. The propylene glycol is, I believe, less viscous than the water itself. So um, it's kind of viscosity is a measure of how thick, how easily the fluid will move away around from, so like I mean, yeah, you guys know, like maple syrup is really viscous, sticky. So this is less viscous than even water. Um, so uh, I have now,
just a little bit.
Just, yeah. Well, uh, I mean, if I'm gonna be working on restoring a grande lamp, I'm gonna need, you know, to make
A decent amount.
two grande lamps, I'll need to make a lot of fluid, fluids. So yeah, but I'll start with the smaller ones here. So vegetable glycerin also works um, to increase the viscosity, but it has a higher viscosity than both of them. So that will also change the way that the wax moves around in that master fluid. So I have not messed with that at all. Have not done anything except just the distilled water and propylene glycol in the number one, the purple yellow yet. So that might be why it's kind of a little disappointing to me. I mean, not disappointing. It's flowing great. It looks great. It's just not quite where I'd hoped it would be. I was hoping to get like big blobs coming up that kind of stretch and then ooze down and drip and kind of so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm planning probably maybe even on the live stream today, later. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm planning to pop the cap back off and try a little bit of the vegetable glycerin in there to see how that will work. Because that's, that's really just easily replaceable fluid, distilled
Yeah.
water and some vegetable glycerin and some soapy surfactant. Um, so I can, yeah, even if the whole thing gets messed up, as long as I don't mess with the wax, add anything that is uh, soluble into the oils and the waxes there, then I should be good and just completely start over again. No harm, no foul. So yeah, we'll see. It's all part of the process, the hobby, the experimentation, right? We'll see. But once I get it all figured out and fine-tuned, twiddled down, I'm hoping that I might be able to do reliably some more um, custom jobs, custom work, and um, be able to offer like maybe an Etsy store even or something, just take commissions. Somebody wants some lava lamp in some color, and I'll go and get it done for them, you know, somehow. Low volume, but something to do.
Something to tinker with.
Yeah, and it's um a little niche market, but it's pretty
There's definitely a market.
yeah, it's pretty hot right now. It's kind of a in thing with all the like LED color everything on all the seems to be popular right now. Um, lighting stuff. So yeah, um, that'll be fun. And this one right here, I'm trying to work the bubbles out of the orange wax, but I'm gonna try to see how the viscosity works in that guy too. Um, so yeah, the orange, I'm just kind of slowly heating it up, warming it to the point that it just melts, but doesn't even start to flow, and then turning it off and letting it slowly cool down and just warm up a little bit and cool down so that the tiny little bubbles can rise up to the top without staying suspended into the middle, because once it starts flowing, that'll just start working them into the whole thing. So, um, yeah, fingers crossed, but that's a wax rescue there. They don't do orange wax very much, and um, it's had bubbles in it from the start, basically. So it's a known issue here that I've had with this guy. So yeah, but the orange would be cool. I think orange in a purple fluid would be really interesting with a lamp that size. Get some cool color variations as it goes up and down. But yeah, that's love of news for everyone who, whether you were interested or not, that's you got it.
Um,
So,
everybody out there, it's Sunglass Day. Um,
National
National Sunglasses.
Sunglasses Day for anyone
there
who's
you go.
curious about
National Sunglass Day. Um,
Mm, yes, and Pookie just is, like I told him before we started, he's just unpatriotic.
I don't know. I don't have any glasses around. I didn't. Um, I just
Should
don't
have,
have
we should
glasses
have,
around.
yeah, I didn't know until this morning, so this is all very last minute, but we'll be prepared for next year, June 27th,
All right,
National
I will be
Sunglasses
prepared.
Day. Everybody make a note, put it in your calendar for next year, because yeah, sunglasses are important. Protect your eyes. Polarized lenses in particular are very, very important, very helpful. Anyone who goes outside works a lot outdoors. Um, yeah, um, I'm yeah, I'm a sunglasses guy. I've always, um,
Me too.
yeah, just outside without sunglasses just doesn't make sense. So,
Um, Fun fact. Um, there's a guy, and I don't know where he is, but he's making a GoFundMe because he needs help um, with the purchase of an enlargement process with his penis. World's
He,
smallest penis.
okay,
Yes, he
well,
started a GoFundMe. Um, so I'll read the article. It's hilarious.
well,
Um, it says, "World's smallest penis guy, help me plump my junk." That's the name of it. Cool. Uh, that's not a hand he's got out. The man who claims to have the smallest penis in the world is looking to extend his in 15 minutes and his meat if he can score financial aid from the public. Hmm. Michael Phillips, a 38-year-old man from North Carolina, man who claims to have a penny-sized pecker, tells TMZ he's seeking crowdsourced cash to get a penis enlarging procedure done in the next couple of months. He says it'll be a whopping 6K. No word on if he's paying by inch. No word if he's paying by inch. Michael, who has been medically diagnosed with micropenis, claims he struggles to use the bathroom with his 0.38-inch penis and hopes the procedure can help the wee bit when urinating. Their jokes are hilarious. The procedure involves an injection of a semi-permanent dermal filler into his Peter. He hopes the injection will allow him to stop wearing pull-ups, which that sucks, which he is currently using. He has his pinky out, so I'm assuming it's a picture of him with his pinky. Anyhow, in his GoFundMe post, Michael adds, "I'm reaching out to anyone who understands how challenging this situation can be. Your support would mean the world to me and help me take a big step toward living with more dignity and independence." Nice. As we reported, Michael told us earlier this year he was considering entering the Guinness World Records for the Tiny Tim. Bottom line, Mike was hoping the fundraiser will soar so his Willie can spread its wings too. Yeah. He got a
I mean,
picture of himself like this. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. I didn't know you could start a GoFundMe for things like that.
I mean, you can start a GoFundMe for anything as long as it's not like outright illegal. You know, you can't, Al Qaeda can't start a GoFundMe for their next project, you know, but yeah, I want to get Chipotle once a month, every month. I want to start a GoFundMe so that I can have Chipotle every month. Last Friday of every month. Yeah. Or a GoFundMe for my medical cannabis, um, my monthly medical cannabis because it gets pricey, you know. Um, this I think is a very good and legitimate and admirable application of that particular
yeah, admirable.
um, platform profit or pro, yeah, you get the point, right? It's okay, I got it. I'm sorry, it's just mm,
I will not be donating.
I mean, if I had the financial means, I would donate something to that. That is definitely a real condition, and um, it's good that he has a sense of humor about it, it seems. At least the way the article was written, it seems he has a sense of humor about it. Might just be the author, the article's author, that's being flippant and lighthearted about that. If that's the case, then I'm a little bit more disappointed about that. But um, you know, I'd never thought about that. The difficulty using the bathroom, it's a condition that's always kind of brought up derisively and mockingly, you know. You have a micro penis, you know, as if it is like somehow fundamentally emasculating, which it kind of is, just because there's so much emphasis on size and whatever. But the day-to-day difficulty, you know, medical or not medical, but well, yeah, medical, because it is a symptom of what he's dealing with, the struggle. But being able to aim right as a man, that's important. And even sitting down, you know, anatomically, things are not aimed in the same direction as with the ladies and stuff. So you'd still need to aim if you don't have the length to let gravity hang and aim for you, right? So,
Right.
I mean that I'd
I
never
I
thought
never
about
would
that
have
before this.
right. I never would have thought about the just functional issues that come with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I understand. That's it's hard uh
yeah.
to even live
But
like
it, I
that, you
mean,
know? You gotta go to the bathroom a lot. Well, not a lot, but
as
going
much
to the
as
bathroom,
any other person, right? Yeah. But to have to wear Depends just because of that? I
yeah,
mean,
that's what he said, to help him not wear diapers.
not even to get the front row seats at the Ariana Grande concert.
Of course. Anyone would wear diapers for Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
If you guys are
Well,
unsure
she's
what we're
kind of
talking
cute.
about out there, no, I'm not gonna go see Ariana Grande or that other girl.
Uh,
I forgot what her name is, but
Sabrina
yeah.
Carpenter. Or Sabrina
any
Uh,
Carpenter.
any performer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to go see The Weeknd and I had floor seats. No, I did not get a diaper because if I happened to need to use the bathroom, I was just gonna go to the bathroom. It was a good
Mhm.
concert. I didn't have to use the bathroom, which was cool.
I
I got
mean,
food before it started, so I just had nothing to get up and go do. It was a perfect
yeah,
concert. I mean,
generally speaking, you still hear what's going on while you're in the bathroom, right?
Most of the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Either as loud, so loud that you can still hear it over, through the walls, or a lot of
Would
venues
you?
have like the PA system that the performers hooked up to just send and play through like little speakers in the bathroom so you can still keep up or whatever. So, um, yeah, just get up,
Um,
especially if
at
it's
the
a number
concert,
two.
when you go get food, there's like if you're standing in line, there's the cashier, there's a TV behind you. So the cashiers, those people, they're watching the concert too. There's concerts in the
Oh, cool.
halls. I mean, TVs in the halls so that you can watch the concert when you get up. But I guess it's not as interesting if you have floor seats and there's food up there, but no food
Yeah,
down
you're not
here.
in the
So you
middle of it
gotta go
all.
up there. Huh?
You're not in the middle of it all anymore. When you get up out of your floor seat and go to, the bathroom or the merch stand or whatever, it really can't be the same, is it?
The thing about it is the merch stand was out front.
Mhm.
It's like as soon as you come in the gates, the merch is
Yeah.
right there. And then
I
you
mean,
and this was a stadium. So if
that's,
you had to go get merch when the concert started, you were gonna miss something. Uh do
I
not
mean,
suggest getting
they always put it like right
out of
there.
the way
You can't get into without passing it, and you can't leave without passing it.
without passing it.
Right? Yeah, they
Yeah.
want to push because all that merch is just pure profit for them, right? They don't. The
Yeah.
cost
Those
of a
people
plain cotton t-shirt and then
like
paying a
$40.
printer to go like stick some little logo on it when you're doing it at like mass scale wholesale prices like they would need to for a gigantic, nationwide tour. I mean, it's a couple bucks each, right? And they're charging what are they up to now? Like 30 bucks a t-shirt or something?
It was
I,
40.
It used to, I mean, it was 20, like in the good old days. Like I remember being kind of pissed to pay $20 for a t-shirt, but it was still worth it, 40 though.
Yeah,
That's like, oh, I still got to get the shirt, but
right. There
oh,
was people walking around the parking lot with a like stick, and then it has two sides, and then on top of that, there's two sides. So they're walking around with four shirts, and then when you ask them for a certain shirt, they got somebody in a car over wherever,
oh
and
yeah.
they call that guy. That guy comes with your size and all that. I was watching it play out, but those are the guys who are not in the gates. Those are the guys who were making their own T-shirts at home and
Those,
selling them.
yeah, those
There was no
are
security to stop them.
the bootleg shirts. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
their
they're
lines were
they're
long, so
the
they were getting
merch
money.
stands equivalent of ticket scalpers in the parking lot, right?
Yeah, um, basically. But back to that one guy. If you guys have any money, there's a guy out there. What's it called? Micro penis.
Micro.
It is a problem. It's a real. Is it a disease or
I
I
mean,
don't know
it's
if
a medical condition, we could say. It's a physical malformation.
yeah. So yeah, but with that guy, 0.38 of an inch. You know how small that is? That's like my thumb. Wait, that's
Yeah,
probably
it's
less
like,
than my thumb.
yeah, if you take the first knuckle or whatever of your thumb, that's already probably twice the length. 0.38, that's like a little over a quarter inch or so.
I'm
So,
surprised he said it didn't say anything about it hurting. Uh,
I imagine the
yeah,
procedure's not going to feel too good.
right. I was wondering if he gets that procedure, uh, how long is it gonna
well,
last? Was something I was thinking. Um,
But yeah, they did say that the fillers were only semi-permanent.
oh yeah, that's gonna suck. You gotta have somebody ready for you.
He's going to have
yeah,
to keep going back.
that is about 0.38 inches.
Oh, wow. Um,
Because here, that's that's the full inch. So he's down about there.
it sounds like it hurts. How how they explained it. Um,
I mean, I don't know what all is involved in the structure, why it's so small, how much erectile tissue is there, and what happens when that, I mean, because that's an involuntary physiological reaction, right, on the man's part. So what happens when he gets an erection if the tissue is like uh, set up in a way that's aiming in the wrong direction or something and not lined up with the urethra somehow? Or I mean, I don't want pictures to see, but we can't know without seeing um his medical chart, let's say. What is involved and why there would be pain. Um, but yeah,
um,
that's sad.
there's two options he has. He could go with the penis enlargement surgery, uh, where they call it phalloplasty,
Yeah.
includes procedures that increase the length or girth. Length is typically increased by cutting the suspensory ligament, while girth is increased via fat transfers of FDA cleared silicone implants like Pneuma. Costs range from $10,000 to $20,000. It is crucial to consult a board certified urologist, as major medical organizations generally consider these products experimental and carry risk of infection and sexual dysfunction.
Mm.
So yeah, there's people out there getting surgeries to do stuff. So I don't know how he would be able to do that, but if he takes that $6,000 to $10,000, he's got a decent surgery coming up. But six
Yeah.
thousand to get whatever he's working on is fine, I guess.
I mean,
It's
if
his.
he's already saved, if he's been saving, if he's, got I mean, you know what it's like for a lot of Americans, saving up 10,000 to just drop on something like that that's not going to be covered by insurance. That's not easy for most Americans to do. So, I mean, paying as much
Um,
as he can afford on his own and starting a GoFundMe to finish, the rest, I think, yeah. go for him. Good luck. Best of luck, really. That's
Uh, they also have height surgeries.
had what?
Oh, you guys were already tall enough. Yeah, but you can get you a few inches if you like to. It says height surgery, also known as limb lengthening or structure lengthening, is an expensive, intensive orthopedic procedure used to increase natural height. It
Yeah.
involves surgically breaking the femur or tibia bones and using internal or external devices to gradually pull the bone apart, adding typically 2 to 6 inches over several months of recovery and physical therapy.
That sounds
Two to
horribly
six
painful.
inches. I could
Yeah.
be six
Yeah, but
eight.
they put
I
these
don't.
things on after they cut the bone, and then they have to like turn the key every day and pull it apart like a millimeter at a time. So the bone will keep growing, trying to heal. It sounds tremendously
Yeah.
painful to me.
It's like a perpetually broken
Yes.
leg for months at a time that they don't let heal fully until the very end.
Right.
I mean,
And then you got
if
to have all
you're,
the structure pulled out too at the
yeah,
end.
all that, yeah. So if you're not addicted to
Wow.
painkillers before you start that, you're probably going to come out of the process addicted to painkillers. It,
Um,
or you're going to be in, miserable for months, the entire process. But yeah, South Park satirized that um, pretty well. Like, I forget what
um,
season it was, but not too long ago, they had an episode where they made Kyle um tr decide that he wanted to like be a black baseball player or basketball player, tall black basketball player in the NBA. And it's like, you're too short, short Jew, never gonna be a and but yeah, so he went and
you
had
have a good shot.
limb lengthening procedure, but they also had him do cosmetic surgery to darken his skin so he could identify as a like 6 foot something black man to play basketball in the
Oh, that's
NBA.
hilarious.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, you don't have to be that tall. Um, they had that one guy, I forgot his name, who was really short. You can have a good shot, and yeah, if you can shoot good and you can get off and get a shot and don't have get blocked so often, they might take you. Uh, or they might not hold you back because of your height. Um, Everybody says Curry is short, but he's actually not that short. He's actually my height. He just looks short on camera.
Just
He's
because
what they
everyone else
call
is like
back.
7 foot tall.
Right.
yeah.
He's what they
Yeah.
consider basketball short. Uh, yeah. He can't dunk like me. So yeah, as long as you can shoot, you can put the ball in the hoop and no worries, then you don't have to worry about dunking or worry about people being taller. You can get rid of them. Um, yeah, unfortunately, uh, I'm not into length, limb lengthening. That's I'm not gonna say insane, but to get 6 inches on your knees, I'm just wondering how that would look because your shins would be longer now, and I'm just
Well,
imagining 6 inches.
Maybe
generally
they spread it
speaking,
around.
though, the human body is proportioned with certain ratios. Like the arms are generally a certain length compared to the length of the legs. The size, interestingly enough, about 80% of the individual variation from human to human is in the limbs. The torso is generally a bit more consistent, but if they're adding that length to the legs alone, the arms will be too short for those proportions relative to like the rest of the human population. Um, well, I don't know. It probably wouldn't be noticed because most people don't. like study I don't know. I studied a lot of figure drawing and whatnot growing up. So proportionality is something that I um, was kind of trained to observe. And yeah, are they extending arms too? Or is he just going to be
Uh,
taller and still have, short arms? That would be kind of funny if they add 6 inches to the legs and he reaches out and he's got arms that are 6 inches shorter. It would probably look pretty weird. Um, yeah,
they
I
do
don't know.
have arm
But
lengthening.
the episode,
Wow.
the South Park episode, season 9, episode 1, it turns out it was the Mr. Garrison's fancy new vagina episode when Mr.
That's
Garrison
interesting.
becomes trans and in that same episode um Kyle has the surgery to become a tall black man in a basketball uniform, complete with bandages as he pursues a desire to be part of the NBA. Yes. You can be anything
Um,
you want if you just try hard enough, right? The
or you pay
lie
enough.
everybody was told growing up from the icebreaker in yesterday's group Zoom meeting. Haha. So
Um, you can
very
be as tall
cool.
as you want.
Very cool the way
I
that
never had
whole
that.
comes around. Yeah. Well, hey, you're
Um,
probably already as tall as you would like to be, I'm guessing. No reason for
one
anybody
thing
to
I'm
try to
thinking,
offer that.
what about genetics? You're gonna be the tallest person in your family for a long time until someone eventually has height there, because it's not gonna make your kids taller because you're taller.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if you're like really very short, um, they are yeah, the
they
rest
have
of the family, the genetics that's gonna pass down, that's not encoded in anything there. There is no heritability to um, cosmetic surgery alterations. Believe it or not,
um
people, it doesn't actually make you, dot, dot,
ooh,
dot, anything. All of those cosmetic surgeries. Uh,
um they have arm lengthening surgery. It's called arm lengthening surgery, or
oh,
bilateral humeral lengthening. Is an orthopedic procedure that uses distraction osteogenesis to increase the length of the upper arm bone, humerus, by 4 to 8 centimeters. It is performed to correct congenital limb discrepancies, trauma deformities, or for cosmetic purposes.
mm,
The
yeah.
pictures of this are hilarious.
The pictures are
Uh,
hilarious, you said?
yeah, just the long arms. They're showing him with the arms. He didn't even get the legs. I don't know if he
Oh,
got them. I mean, maybe got them
that would
later.
be that would be
But
hilarious
yeah,
to,
the
to
long arms. His arms
have.
are like past his pockets. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if mine's are past my pockets, but I'm naturally tall. So
yeah.
yeah, this
Well,
guy, he's got the arms. Yeah. Um, won't be me. I don't need anything longer because that
just about
looks
possible for me.
wild.
Yeah, because the proportion of the torso with those arms and everything, even though 80% of individual height between humans is in the limbs, the torso still has part of that proportionality there. So making limbs, making the arms longer will put them down lower relative to where they should have been in the torso. So yeah, you could end up with arms hanging down, you know, below your crotch, just several inches below your crotch because you just extended them there for cosmetic reasons. It could get to looking pretty odd.
Unique.
Mm.
Yes. Well, as is the case with so many cosmetic procedures, so many different, like, have you guys heard of the Brazilian butt lift? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
considered, I believe, the most dangerous cosmetic surgery. They have the most problems with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I I don't know.
Uh,
It seems like there should be, I don't know.
uh, there was a bodybuilder, the Hulk of real life. He went from 5'11" to 6'6" with lengthening surgeries. Mm.
What
He has
Hulk Hogan?
the Hulk of life. Oh, it says
The
live.
Hulk.
I'll send you the link because his legs are like super skinny, which is hilarious. Like his shins and everything, you could totally tell that that isn't right. Something's going on in there.
I mean,
But
that's the case with most cosmetic surgeries. They don't come out looking natural, generally speaking.
Especially when you
Especially,
go overboard.
yeah, like
check out those shins on
lip
that link I
filler,
sent.
so much Botox that you have absolutely no facial expressions, and
And entirely too much lip filler.
yeah, and it just kind of almost like clownish in a lot of cases. I have no idea why so many of those ladies think that that is what they
Yeah,
want to look like. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just am not their target demographic. Well, not maybe. I am definitely not their target demographic, clearly, right?
One second.
But
Right.
um like are there that many
I think
men
there are
who,
I think there are guys out there that really like that look,
yeah,
but no,
mm,
definitely not for me.
no, no, it's whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm clearly not the target demographic there, but it.
Me either. Definitely not gonna get any shin stretchers or whatever he got. I don't know how they call it, but those shins look wild.
You're
Yes.
not gonna have any Botox or lip filler added.
I've
No.
actually had Botox, but it wasn't for cosmetic purposes. It was for migraine treatments.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna guess migraines. Yeah, how
They
did
told
that
me
work?
something like that. I could get something like that behind the ear. Uh, I thought it was something for the epilepsy because I don't have anything with the migraines, nothing that I reported to them.
Oh,
Uh, but they asked me would I like to try a Botox something, and they shoot it behind the ear, and I guess it goes in your brain. And then I was like, no, yeah,
But
I'll
when I had
pass.
them, they were all over my head and neck. I think it was like 13 injections.
Ooh, um,
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it, and it didn't
did it
work for
hurt?
me. Yes, it hurt.
mm,
I
Okay,
mean, it
I'm
wasn't
gonna be
like
like,
excruciating, but someone's still sticking needles in me
yeah,
in
no
places that you
numbing.
don't. It was just weird, especially the ones in my forehead. It was just weird.
Um, yeah,
yeah, Dr.
yeah, but
Google says that it is difficult to treat or wait, it is safe for individuals with epilepsy seeking cosmetic treatments, but it is even prescribed to help manage specific difficult to treat epilepsy symptoms like muscle spasticity or painful muscle contractions. So, um,
Maybe I
I
should do
didn't
some
ask
of
for
that
that.
in my back.
symptom management says Botox used to treat secondary symptoms such as severe muscle spasms or ice pick headaches related to muscle damage from convulsions. Ice pick headaches. That's an interesting term. I feel like
Have you ever had one?
I
Yeah,
I don't know. Is
I
that
have.
like the headache, the trademark epilepsy
It's
It's
something that'll have you
post
going like
epilepsy?
this and trying to get it out. And going like this.
the
It
ice
hurts.
pick headaches that I would have. It's literally just feels like someone jabbed an ice pick in your head and it's very localized.
And it can go right behind your eye. And you're
Yeah,
like, yeah,
I've had them in
that.
like around my eye, around my ear, and like in the top of my head.
Okay.
It just
Every
feels
time
like
I get
someone
one,
just stabbed me.
every time
Okay.
I
I've
get
had,
one, it
yeah.
starts at one place, but it feels like it always ends up behind the eye. It makes my eyes and my head hurt. Uh, but yeah, horrible. Um, ice
That
pick
sounds
migraine.
that sounds familiar, but not something that I've frequently had. I don't know. Yeah, very localized headaches, sharp pain. Generally not long lasting in your cases, because I don't
Uh,
think I've ever had it like persistent for a long time. If what I'm thinking of is an actual memory, right, and not just an
Yeah.
imagined, planted, suggestive. Um, yeah.
um, yeah. I don't want any. When they asked me that, would you like to try this? I think I forgot what they said I could use it for, but something they decided to ask. They didn't say it was necessary. They were like, you can do this, or we can give you this pill. Uh, yeah, I might have went with the pill or neither. You never know. Um, but yeah, we were talking about a GoFundMe purchase. This guy, I mean, GoFundMe account. This guy, he needs money. Everybody out there watching, he's trying to get a penis enlargement because uh, he has the world's smallest penis, and they said it was 0.38 inches. So you guys can look that up if you guys want to help him out. It's called micro penis. It's an actual thing. So he's needing help, and he's trying to get in Guinness World Records for the smallest. So hopefully they can help or something. But Andrea, do you remember a few weeks ago? Well, not a few weeks ago. It may have been a few months ago. Um, where the guys are actually taking the needles and putting them in their balls and calling it ball maxing. Okay, I'm
Yes.
glad you remember that because there's a new update on that. That guy that's getting the penis thing going on for $6,000. They got an article here. It's called penis maxing. So now you can put the saline somewhere else, not just in your balls. If you guys don't know what ball maxing is out there, go look it up. If you don't care, then don't look it up. But it's insane
You
that
might be
guys actually.
traumatized if you look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just throw it out there though. It is really wild. I hate using the word insane, but people are really doing that, like taking the syringe and sticking it in their balls, and it swells them up with saline. Uh, all I can think of is like the dominatrix shit, like somebody likes getting themselves kicked. But okay, I got this other article here about penis maxing, and that other guy. Maybe he can do this, maybe he can't. I didn't read it. Um,
My EEG
but
lady just pulled up, so I'm gonna have to dip out for a few.
all right.
They
I'm
got to
here.
change batteries or something. So
Nice.
good thing Mark is back.
Yeah.
At least I saw him walk
Um,
by.
Yes,
yeah, he's back.
I will I will
yes,
try to listen though.
just in time to hear how I can make my dick bigger.
Yeah. Worst case scenario. Yeah. So
I
it
don't know why they
says
would use
men
the
are
word, like, name it penis maxing, because I feel like dick maxing has a better,
I
better flow to it.
understand what you mean.
It's like,
Um,
well,
so there's something here. I don't know if you remember the ball maxing conversation.
yes, I do. It's
Yeah.
hard to
Now,
forget that.
I think I talked about it, and then they brought up this article. Well, this article's newer. It's about penis maxing, and it says men are penis maxing to get the biggest boost possible in bed. Uh, if she can't settle with what you have, then you probably go find someone else. But anyhow, the article says sometimes we just wish we were a little more well endowed. You know, this article was wrote by a guy. Anyhow, and when it comes to men, there are inadvisable methods they've been using to make their privates a little more substantial, whether it's joking. Uh, I'm gonna spell joking, and you can look it up. Jelqing. Using their hands or weights to stretch your penis. Oh my goodness. Or ball maxing, where men are injecting their testicles with saline to temporarily inflate. Guys are getting creative. Then there's penis maxing, intended to make one's penis look and perform at its best. And under the umbrella falls the latest method of being used by men seeking a bigger member. While it doesn't involve while it doesn't involve doing anything to the penis itself, looks ma- looks maxer influencer Braden Eric Peters, known as Clavicular Online,
Yeah,
shared on a podcast that he uses lipo lipolysis injections on his mons pubis, and to break down the fat around the genitals. His mons pubis is the rounded pad of fatty tissue located directly over the pubic bone in the lower abdomen, which, if it's larger, can result in a buried penis, where the normal sized penis is covered by skin, subconsciously tissue, and or fat in the prepubic area. But how does this work, and is it dangerous? We ask doctors for their honest thoughts. How does this form of penis maxing work? Simply put, Dr. Babak Ashrafi, GP at Super Drug Online Doctor, explains that fat dissolving injections are used to reduce pockets of fat in specific areas of the body. Mm-mm-mm. Around the pubic region, reducing excess fat above the penis can make more of the shaft visible, creating the appearance of increased length, he tells Metro. It's important to understand that this doesn't actually enlarge the penis itself. It simply changes the surrounding tissue, which may make it look more prominent. Weight loss could also improve
kind of
cardiovascular
like
health.
shaving your pubes makes everything look kind of right.
Yeah,
Gives
looks bigger than
gives
it actually is.
gives you a little extra the appearance of, yeah. So yeah. So basically it sounds like he's just taking that to a next level. Don't just shave the pubes to get that extra little bit, you know, stick needles in there to dissolve the fat, like right at the pubic bone, right underneath where those shaved off pubes were,
Mm-hmm.
to get another little fraction of an inch. Why
Right.
why is
I'm gonna
this the topic for today? What is up? Talk
because
about
there was a guy who needed
dicks.
surgery, paying six
Yeah,
thousand dollars.
it's
When you pay
dick
six
day
thousand, of
today.
course, you need other options when you're paying 6 G's for a
Yeah,
penis surgery. So I seen
yeah.
this article
I mean, I
because
get it. It's just I did not
yeah,
expect to be
um,
talking about dicks so much today.
yes,
Thumbs up if hit
thumbs up, you
like.
guys. I'm gonna finish the article because yeah, it says weight loss could also improve cardiovascular health, blood flow, and in some cases erectile function. But just because influencers like
Clavicular.
clavicular,
Yeah.
um, his screen name is clavicular. Use this method doesn't mean it's advisable in the UK. While a number of fat dissolving products are used in the UK aesthetic practice, there are currently no fat dissolving injections specifically licensed for enlarging the penis or reducing the mons pubis to enhance penile appearance. Dr. Sharin, an intimate health specialist, tells Metro. Dr. Arshafry adds that fat dissolving injections shouldn't be purchased over the counter for use, that men should avoid the online black market for injectable products, including
Yeah.
substances marketed as fat dissolving treatments. These products may be counterfeit, contaminated, incorrectly dosed, or contain undisclosed ingredients, putting people at risk for serious complications, he says. Any injectable treatment should only be prescribed and administered by a qualified healthcare professional following an appropriate medical assessment. So, guys, you shouldn't do this. I think it said something about being in the UK, and I was going to ask, where are they getting this syringe and liquid to do this?
I mean,
They
you can
didn't
get
say that.
syringes anywhere or like yeah, just you can buy sterile syringes on Amazon, I think. Even
Oh, didn't know
um
that.
just for yeah, they have needles available because diabetics
Makes
need
sense.
to be able to inject themselves with insulin and stuff. I had a whole box full of sterile syringes when I had my cat Steve. He was diabetic. He had to get insulin. So yeah, I had needles and a little biohazard disposal thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So don't do it, men out there. It isn't suggested. Don't
Yeah.
go on the black market looking for syringes and fat enlargement stuff. We do not suggest it. Uh,
No,
yeah. Uh, highly not suggested. But I got something else
that
that,
was is it more dick
go
stuff?
ahead. No.
No. Okay. Well, if it's
No,
not dick
it's not.
stuff, if we're going to be changing topic, can I have
Go
a
ahead.
turn?
I
Because
remember you saying something about my next article. Go ahead.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, but just to change the subject. Yeah,
You
here
don't
I
enjoy
have.
talking about dicks?
I mean, I I have a limit that I can handle at any given moment, and then I need a bit of a reset. So, give me at least one article, and
No
then
problem.
I might be ready to go back to dicks.
We're
But,
done with that for the day.
huh?
Everybody out there, we're done talking about penis for the day. Press that thumbs up button. Leave some
Darn
comments and
it.
let us know what you think. Um, if you decide you can do that or you would like to do that, that's up to you. The consensus here is you
Don't,
should not.
don't,
Um,
no. No, don't.
To each
Don't
his
do it.
own.
Don't
I'm
do
not
it.
mad at you if you do, but
Leave
I
your
wouldn't.
leave your dicks alone, everybody,
Right.
guys out there. Yes.
The arm. Go ahead. Yeah, because
Yes. So I have from Popular Mechanics, um, we're going to read about how 81 years ago, a pilot tried to outrun bad weather and crashed a B-25 bomber into the Empire State Building. Yes, the world's once tallest building absorbed the deadly accident only 14 years after its construction. So, midsummer 1945, a U.S. Army B-25 Mitchell bomber on a transport trip took an unplanned route through Manhattan. The flight carried three people: Lieutenant Colonel William Franklin Smith Jr., Crew Chief Christopher Dimitrovich, and machinist Albert Perna. It was headed to Newark Airport to pick up Smith's commanding officer, Colonel H.E. Bogner, for a return trip to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hey, I lived there for like a year. But what began as a relatively quick flight from Bedford Army Airfield near Boston to Newark turned perilous when the B-25 got lost in thick fog. The morning's weather was poor, with rain and low clouds blanketing the region. Smith's original plan was a direct instrument flight from Bedford to Newark, navigating by his cockpit gauges above the clouds. But Newark already had too much air traffic, so controllers couldn't clear him for an instrument departure until after 11 a.m. Smith needed to be in Newark by 10 to pick up Colonel Bogner, and he didn't want to call ahead about a delay. So he asked about an alternative, flying under, quote, contact rules through the airspace of New York Municipal Airport in Queens, now known as LaGuardia. That airport reported a 1,500-foot ceiling, meaning Smith could depart imminently, but only if he stayed below the cloud cover and maintained visual contact with the ground for the entire flight. If the ceiling dropped below 1,000 feet, the flight would have to be terminated. The 27-year-old West Point graduate had already earned two Distinguished Flying Crosses and over 100 missions, 100 combat missions, not just missions, combat missions. But he was flying a B-25 for only the second time and without a co-pilot. He took off from Massachusetts at 8:55 a.m. despite the rain and low clouds. As Smith neared New York, the LaGuardia control tower advised him to land there rather than continue to Newark in the worsening fog, but Smith insisted on pressing ahead. The tower cleared him for Newark while warning that they couldn't even see the top of the Empire State Building. Minutes later, Smith became disoriented in the fog and mistook Manhattan for his approach to Newark. Soon he was flying dangerously low elevations among the city's skyscrapers. One report noted that the B-25 flew past the New York Central Office building level with the 22nd floor. Flying low and slow, Smith navigated the city streets and narrowly missed a collision with the Chrysler building in Midtown. Okay, so yeah, at least once he sees the Chrysler building in Midtown, he's got to know he's over Manhattan for sure, right?
You would hope.
You would think, right? Unless maybe he's just not that familiar with the New York skyline, but um okay.
I
Uh
was going
but
to
it
say
huh?
that why would you take a plane below 1,000 feet if you're not going to land? Um,
Yeah. Well, I mean, he
yeah,
was going to land, right? He thought he was at least. So yeah, flying low and slow. Okay, city streets. Narrowly missed a collision with the Chrysler building in Midtown, but at 9:49 a.m., his maneuvers led the B-25 directly into the north side of the Empire State Building. The collision created a hole 18 feet wide and 20 feet deep in the side of the offices of the Catholic War Relief Services between the 79th and 80th floors. Wow. So
That's
wait,
low.
so they were level with the 22nd floor of the New York Central Post Office building, but then up to the 79th floor when they got to the Empire State Building. So he's right. There's not that much elevation change at the ground level across Manhattan, is there? That
I
would
don't think so.
lead for 50 stories worth of height between the two buildings. So he must have been going up and down and wow. Wow.
It's
Okay.
quite a flight.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the collision happened on a Saturday, it caused fewer casualties than would have been the case on a weekday, since many workers in the building had the day off. But the event was still a catastrophe. The crash ignited a fire and killed 14 people, including 11 who were inside the Empire State Building. 9 office workers, a janitor, and an elevator operator, and all three aboard the plane. The high-speed impact also sent building and aircraft debris falling from the skyscraper. One of the plane's engines shot through the skyscraper and exited the south side of the structure before landing on a penthouse across the street where it started another fire. Additional debris littered the tops of nearby buildings. The aircraft's other engine severed 16 elevator cables, sending one car with its operator inside, plummeting with the engine still on the roof of the car. Luckily, the elevator's automatic emergency brake slowed the plunging car, and a pile of cables softened the 1,000-foot, 75 floor crash. Wow. I wonder if that was the operator who died or if that guy actually made it falling 75 floors and it was slowed enough that he. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. I just should have read the next sentence. Rescuers were able to successfully free Betty Lou Oliver from the damaged car after what is still considered the longest fall ever survived in an elevator. Incredibly, despite the gaping hole the crash created, the Empire State Building maintained its structural integrity. The damage, however, did prompt a $1 million repair for what was the world's tallest building until 1971 and which remains an icon of New York City today. So, that is pretty crazy, isn't it?
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
I had never known that there were more plane crashes into Manhattan buildings than, you know,
Um,
what happened in our lifetimes.
is
Yeah,
he in jail? Did he go to prison or jail or anything for that?
I mean, everybody on board died, all of the crew in the aircraft. So, no, he went
Oh, okay.
to
I
a
thought
like
that one person.
probably a national cemetery, Arlington National Cemetery, something. They were combat veterans. This was immediately after World War II. I mean, the pilot had 2 Distinguished Service Crosses and had flown 100 combat missions. That's a lot.
Oh,
That's a lot of combat missions. Every time you fly over there, you're getting shot at from below, you're getting airplanes going. How many people made it through 100 full combat missions, even? That
how
alone
many
might
people
be,
did make it through?
huh?
Oh,
So yeah, that's pretty neat, pretty interesting. The one engine goes all the way through, came out the other side of the building. I mean,
um,
yeah. So yeah, B-25 was twin engine, like right on either side of the fuselage on the wings, and then it had the um, tail, like you know, I don't know. If you look it up, yeah, medium bomber, smaller than B-17, but um, was it smaller? I don't know. Yeah.
Um, um, uh, these hiccups, they only come when we're on here. I'm starting to think someone said something about that. Hiccups can be myoclonus, can be something that I'm gonna look that up later because I tend to get hiccups more when I'm talking on here. Maybe I talk too much. Um, yeah.
Based on data from World War II, it is exceptionally rare for bomber pilots to have survived 100 combat missions. Standard combat tours were generally 25 to 35 missions before mandatory rest or rotation, while specific numbers for pilots who reached 100 are not tracked in aggregate. The survival rates suggest it was an extremely small number, typically achieved only by replacing crews flying light bombers, B-26s, A's, or B-26s or A-20s, or by individuals who volunteered for multiple tours, such as in the Pacific or late war 44 to 45. So only a tiny fraction of individual aircraft rather than crews even reached 100 missions. Um, over the whole war, only 24% of RAF bomber command air crew survived unscathed. Um, while extremely uncommon in heavy bombers, the B-17 and B-24 over Europe due to high losses, some airmen in the Pacific theater and late war light bomber groups, such as the B-26 Marauders, flew higher numbers of missions. So, yeah, that's that
It's a
that
lot of missions.
that dude kicked ass. Yeah,
Um,
but I don't know.
how
Maybe
long was he in the
maybe all
service
of that
to do all that?
gave him a bit too much of a sense of confidence. I survived 100 combat missions in the war. I can
This will
beat,
be a piece of cake.
yeah, I can beat a bit of weather. And yeah,
Right.
weaving through buildings, compared to anti-aircraft attack and Luftwaffe coming after them. Ah, oh, there's a building in front of me. Ah, it's not trying to shoot me down. I'll just go through. Uh, Not to minimize, but yeah, that's a pretty impressive, pretty impressive dude. Mm,
Um, any rocket news today?
Um, Not much. Hold on.
Well,
Yeah.
I got a small little something right here. In Florida, Florida news, because I
Florida.
always go look about what's going on in Florida around March.
Yeah. Oh, they
Um,
just did another Python roundup.
they also had something go down with an alligator at Wendy's. There was an article that
What?
said, yeah, there was an article that said Florida man arrested for riding alligator through Wendy's drive-through. But I did further research on it, and he did not ride an alligator. It says a
He
man
threw
did
it
not
through the
ride an
window.
alligator. Yeah, he threw it through the window. Florida man named Joshua James was arrested after tossing a live 3.5 foot alligator through the drive-through window of a Wendy's. The bizarre incident took place at a Palm Beach County location when the driver placed an order, received his drink, and threw the animal inside. No one was harmed during the incident, and the alligator was safely captured and released back into the wild by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. James was initially arrested and charged with felonies of including assault with a deadly weapon, illegally possessing an alligator, and petty theft, before later resolving the charges with a plea deal.
Yeah, of course.
Why would you even be riding around with a 3.5 foot alligator in your car?
I mean,
What
because
made him think, let's
Florida.
throw it through the window after you got your food?
Well, he had to
I
eat.
mean,
He was
fast
hungry
food
from
workers
fighting an
don't get
alligator.
nearly as many tips as they deserve.
I don't think that's the kind of tips they want.
For your
He is
service.
Right.
he is no longer allowed to go to any Wendy's in the country.
I don't know how
Yeah.
enforceable that'll be, though. Like,
That's
honestly,
what I was just thinking.
show up
Yeah.
anonymously somewhere across the country. Is Wendy's gonna put his face like next to every drive-through
On the wall.
window in the entire country and say, "Do not serve this man. He may throw an alligator at you"?
What might happen is they might hear about it throughout the company. That can happen because when I was working for Krispy Kreme, I would hear about what's going on at certain other ones, but those were ones that were in the same district. So, but yeah, I would hear about news about the business in particular. So maybe they might hear about it like that. But yeah, they're definitely not going to put a sign of this man's face up saying he can't buy food. Couldn't imagine that. Um, Once again, it just has me thinking of what Andrea said. Who rides around with an alligator? Uh,
Florida
yeah.
men.
What? Want to throw it through a window?
I mean, what else are you gonna do with your alligator?
Maybe it was getting snappy at him and he had to throw it out. He's like, I'll show you.
Right.
I mean,
Like you're
hopefully
doing too
the
much
mouth is
about.
taped. That's something. Alligators have an intense bite force, but they don't have the reverse. They can't open very easily. So if you just take a bit of duct tape and wrap it around once or twice, that's all you need in order to keep the alligator from safe from biting. I was going to say safe, but no, they've got other sharp parts. But it won't
And the
be able to
tail.
bite you. Yeah, the tail whack you, but that's still, I mean, a slap from an alligator tail compared to the claws or the bite, that's not the big dangerous part. Especially a 3 footer, that's a little baby alligator, cute little baby. So, tail whack from that, I mean, it's a tail like that big, right? If the whole alligator's like that big. So
Mm.
this is
I
18
still
inches
don't want to.
actually. So this height times two, that's, you know, that's not a big alligator. That's like
Well, it
a,
couldn't be too big or it wouldn't fit through the window.
that's like an alligator teen, you know. Uh,
Um, yeah.
Still growing.
I never seen an alligator in my life, like in
No?
person. Uh, I
I
actually
haven't either.
just seen a frog. I just seen a frog for the first time in these 36 years of my life.
What?
Our back
Really?
door was
That
open,
blows
so
my
the dog
mind.
didn't see it. Yeah, the dog didn't see it when it hopped right past it and came in the house because it was dark outside and she was in the backyard. And then you could see her at the door, and then bullfrog comes under the door, hopping, and I moved at first, like thought it was a rat or something because it came out of the backyard. And no, when I looked over, like it isn't moving. Is it looking at the wall? When I looked at it, it had like its hands right in front of the wall because I guess it seen me, and then it turned and it sat there. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, a frog! I never seen a frog." I was so excited, and then I guess it just hopped off and went back out the door. But that's the first time I've seen a frog in my life. Yeah, I was excited,
City
and I
boy.
haven't seen one since.
Yeah, you grew
Yeah,
up in a city environment, right? So
yes,
not yeah.
I saw a little
not
baby
around any
deer last Sunday.
lakes.
Ooh, baby Spotty.
I've seen
Still
deer.
had spots. Still had the
Bambi.
spots. Yes, it was Bambi.
Um, yeah, that's I seen one on the freeway because out here we got hills that I mean freeways that go through hills, and you'll
Yeah.
see one at the top of the hill, and you're like, "Oh, can I make it as he's coming down?" It's coming down and missed. And then you got to stop because he hops and hops, and they're like, "If you run him over, you can total your car." So they don't do that. Um,
No, you don't want to hit
Actually,
a
people
deer.
have run him over on accident, so that's different.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
there reaches a certain point where it's more dangerous to n not react than to react. There's, sometimes it's better just to plow over the animal and, safer for you
Then
than to try to
swerve.
stop. Yeah, swerving or stopping in the middle of traffic. Um, yeah, as unfortunate as it is, um, it always breaks my heart whenever I see have to happen, you know, little squish a frog or squirrel, you know, but it's yeah,
um,
Circle of life.
Elton
yeah.
John.
Uh, yeah, I had another article here that was just, I thought it was dumb when I read it. When I read the title, just like, what the hell are people thinking? And then when I just looked at the pictures, there's a guy fishing and the girl next to the fishing pole in the water, and she's just like floating. And the title says, Influencer throws model into water as shark bait in bizarre video. And then you see them with a shark this song, but it's like two of them holding it. And yeah, the article says a model claims she was nearly eaten by a shark after being used as fishing bait in a social media stunt. CC Rose was thrown into the water as a human bobber, tied to a rope with dead fish strapped to her as part of a wild fishing challenge. She was rigged up and dropped into a body of water near a harbor. However, Cece appeared to come close to meeting her fate when she was filmed almost drowning. The stunt was uploaded by influencer and and media personality Anthony Dawson, who goes by the name of Two Turnt Tony, after he filmed it at one of his properties. The video shows the Toronto-based model being lowered into the water before she appears to be pulled down the water, pulled down the water, with Tony having briefly turned his back to her. Cece guessed she would have been underwater for 2 minutes as she screamed for help, although she admitted it could have been less. She told Daily Mail she was frightened as the stunt began, but felt calm entering the water, believing a shark would go for the dead fish rather than her. At the end of the day, I knew a great deal white shark wouldn't be in the area, so I just held onto the thought, she said. Tony came to her rescue, admitting on camera he probably should have used a smaller bait. His voiceover adds, it was a complete shit show. CC later assured fans she was safe and well, writing, haha, I'm fine, everyone, I promise. Two men are shown posing with a small shark before releasing it into the water at the end of the clip, which received more than 10.6 million times. However, not all users were impressed with this experiment. What happens when she gets ate by a shark? One suggested. Another wrote, "Dude, you're sick. Gonna get somebody killed if it hasn't happened already." Dumb idea. Uh,
Why would she agree to that? That's just
she's bait. Yeah, I don't know why you would try that. Because wait, would he have gone to jail if she got eaten by the shark? Yeah,
I mean, almost
I don't
good
certainly,
idea.
I think. What, yeah. Can you drop a link to the link to that article in the Zoom chat here so I can open it up and
Make fun of it.
try to save it and then, yeah, just this is just
the fact she did it voluntarily is just
You see a picture of
yeah.
him like this, then just throw her in the water. Uh, so I'm guessing she was the bobber because you don't actually see the fish like strapped to her. But still, you can get eaten. The shark's like, I want the big piece, not the little piece. Uh, never know. Wouldn't be me.
They don't look at what they're biting, they just think there's something there and they bite it. You ever watched Shark Week? They just come
Mm.
flying in,
Oh yeah, I believe I have when I was a kid. Mm. Um, yeah, the video
there's
of
not a
her.
lot of intelligent people in this article,
I don't
in my
I
opinion.
mean
Yeah, and then he's an influencer,
that's
so he probably do it for the clicks.
yes,
Do it
that's
for
all
the
I
view.
was yeah. I mean, she's,
Got some
also
millions of
later
views.
assured fans, haha, I'm fine, everyone, I promise. It's like she did it for the clicks too. Neither, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. Neither one of them, whatever happens to them, I don't care. I don't care. Throw the book at them or not, I don't care. If she gets eaten next shark bait click stunt, I don't care. Whatever.
Um, yeah,
Darwin
she has her
Awards.
clothes on too.
Yeah,
She
Darwin
wasn't just in
Awards.
swim clothes. Mm.
She should get eaten next time. Remove herself from the human gene pool and thus positively contribute to the future of mankind. We do not need her DNA floating around anywhere. Neither one of them.
Throw him next.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
right. Yeah.
Oh man. Um, yeah, it's not something I would suggest you guys out there throwing sharks. I mean, throwing people into sharks' mouth. That's the wildest thing I've seen since the alligator being thrown through the window. Human bobber. Um,
There's a lot of really not smart people out there.
yeah, yeah. Um, but I have another article here. If you didn't have anything, Mark, I got
I
something
have
about Jimmy Fallon.
something. Yeah,
Come again?
I have something. I mean, I
Go
don't know.
ahead.
You want to go first? Either way. Um,
Sure.
yeah, well, I just thought maybe we could talk about the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. Have you guys heard about how
Holding algae. Yeah.
stupid the whole thing is? Well, stuff. Yeah, so there's new stupidity happening over there. More idiocy. It never ends. It will never end. It is, yeah. The saga over the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool took a turn as Donald Trump said Tuesday that 6 people have been arrested over recent damage. The president's troubled 14 plus million rehabilitation project has become a visceral flashpoint over law enforcement, aesthetics, and environmental concerns ahead of the country's 250th anniversary celebrations. In a social media post, Trump claimed without supporting evidence that there had been a 350-foot gash in the paint as the administration faces a self-imposed deadline. Well, I mean, they say without supporting evidence. Why would he need to provide supporting evidence? Just say, like, why would, whatever. They can just go look at it. Um, the administration faces a self-imposed deadline to fix the botched renovation before the nation's 250th anniversary celebration next week. He also said, including again on Tuesday, that the federal government would release images to substantiate his claim. Just go look at it. Trump pledged to beautify the century-old reflecting pool um, ahead of the anniversary celebrations, draining its water and having the bottom painted a color he dubbed American flag blue. I think that's just navy blue, right? Um, but since the site was restored, its water has been plagued with algae bloom and pieces of the new coating appeared to be peeling. Oh, wait, what? Since the site was renovated, its water has been plagued with algae bloom, and pieces of the new coating appeared to be peeling off the bottom. Trump, without evidence, has repeatedly blamed the peeling paint on vandalism. I mean, without evidence. I've seen videos all over TikTok and X of people going and intentionally peeling at it, ripping at it, doing stuff. They say without evidence. If they just go and do a search, just look for it. You can see people proudly going and vandalizing it without evidence. God, stupid. People are so stupid. These people, so stupid. The news,
Have they determined why it's peeling in the first place?
because
Did they
people are
just not?
going and chipping at it and trying to do to make big orange daddy Trump guy look bad because MAGA evil.
Are you
It's
sure it wasn't just starting to peel because maybe they used the wrong kind of paint or something and they're just making it worse? I mean, that's a
I mean,
possibility. I don't
when you
know.
see videos of people actually going and leaning over and trying scratching and chipping at it, like, yeah, I was pretty sure that, I mean,
I
whatever
haven't seen that.
whatever else is happening,
Yeah.
is secondary to the fact that there is actually vandalism. Whether or not it would have happened, there would have been anything happening without the vandalism is irrelevant because the vandalism is there and obviously politically motivated to make Trump look bad, which is stupid because they're complaining about how expensive this restoration is, wasting money on blah, 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 blah. And then they're going and making some more damage to, have to
Have to
fix and
restore
spend
it
more
again.
money and redo it. It's like, come on. This is the level of
How deep is
idiocy
it?
that these people are working with here. The brain power and critical thinking that they apply to this sort of stuff. They're not actually trying to make the country any better. They're just trying to make Trump look bad. They don't care about how much it costs the government. They're trying to make it cost more for the government just because they can then point up at the top of the government. That means it's Trump that's doing bad, right? No, not really. Not when they're the ones making it that much more expensive in order to fully fix. If they just left it alone, it wouldn't have been
All I
much
saw
more
was
expensive.
some photos of like the paint floating in the water. I didn't
Yeah, I
hear
don't
any of
know.
that stuff, so
I've I don't know. I've seen
Seen
other videos like, people going, yeah, actively leaning over and but there's more. It gets worse. It gets dumber and
Go
more
ahead.
malicious. Um the Trump wrote Tuesday adding Okay, without evidence, he repeatedly blamed the peeling on vandalism. It was purposefully and criminally done, and somebody had to work very hard, probably in the dark of the night, to create such a condition. Trump wrote Tuesday, adding, well, I don't know about dark of the night. There's videos floating around of people doing it openly, but I don't know, maybe the scale of what he's talking about, maybe he's talking about some other part of the I don't know. Either way, oh, should they have to are we going to have to put a fence off our own national memorials in order to keep
I
our
hope not.
nation's capital looking decent, like, treat our nation's capital with respect? What do they have against President Lincoln? Why do why do they hate Lincoln so much that they want to mess up his reflecting pool? It's not Donald Trump that they're disrespecting, I think. Whatever. They don't like him finishing the Civil War. Maybe they don't like the Emancipation Proclamation. Oh no, that would be. I mean, we know that, well, okay. The Associated Press has verified that one man was arrested after touching the already peeling paint. Touching. Okay. Yeah. Well, you see there, that's one very softly worded confirmation. Of course, the AP would minimize anything coming from, left, progressive, liberal, motivated individuals. He was touching it was already peeling and he was touching it. They wouldn't arrest somebody for just poking at. No, no. He said he wanted to examine the new coating, touching the still attached chunk briefly, then letting go shortly after a park worker told him to. Oh, yeah, what he said and what was actually happening are two completely different things. National Guard members and park police have been patrolling the deck around the pool after Trump insisted over the weekend that vandals were responsible for the damage to the liner without providing it. Well, of course they're going to keep saying that. They just don't look for the videos. You don't look for proof. See no evil, and then you can say there is no evil. There is no proof. There is no proof. Crews were seen adding fencing around the pool late Tuesday. There we go. Yeah, electrify that shit. Keep these people away from it. Trump said Tuesday that the Interior Department will release images of alleged vandalism at the pool. Yeah, of course they're gonna say, oh, there's alleged. He wasn't really vandalizing. He was just looking at what was there. He was just inspecting it. He wasn't peeling. He let go. Uh, whatever. Okay. Um, the president has said Monday that the images existed and the federal government would provide them. No photos were made public as of Tuesday afternoon. The arrests highlighted what's expected to be tightened security in the Capitol ahead of and during the 250th anniversary celebrations. Yeah, good. Tighten, tighten that shit up. Which are set to draw large crowds to the National Mall and other tourist sites. Yeah, so don't make that shit look trashy, people. Trump also said Tuesday that some of the water will be drained from the pool, quote, either immediately before or after the 4th of July to do the permanent repair. Yeah, whatever. It was unclear from his post what the scale, scope, or cost of the permanent repair would be. Atlantic Industrial Coatings, a contractor on the pool project, said it has identified some areas in the reflecting pool that require repairs. These areas are a very small part of the massive 7-acre project and do not indicate a failure of the liner, the company said in a statement. The company said it expected to make the repairs to the pool once it drained as part of the warranty. Adding to the controversy swirling around the pool, an environmental group called on U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services to investigate after a mallard duckling carcass was photographed floating in the algae-filled pool, and 2 other ducks were found dead nearby. The Center for Biological Diversity said Tuesday that the Wildlife Service must enforce the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, which protects migratory birds. What they failed to mention there is those ducks were found strangled, broken necks. Quote, wasting taxpayer money turning the reflecting pool into a giant duck death trap just in time for America's 250th birthday party is as Trump as it gets. Cruel, stupid, and selfish, said Zara Zurado, a senior campaigner at the Arizona-based group. Well, yeah, it turns into a duck death trap when you go and strangle ducks there in order to intentionally try to make the leadership look bad and incompetent and stupid. There is no way that a reflecting pool liner can result in broken duck necks.
Where
I,
did you hear that they had broken necks? I'm curious.
I don't remember exactly where. I saw pictures of them though, which I guess maybe I should be a little bit more diligent about verifying. These days can be. mm,
Maybe they broke their neck because they were flying and they died and they crashed. I don't know. I'm just,
Crashed into multiple ducks flying, crashed into the reflecting pool, breaking their necks. I
you
doubt
never know.
I doubt that. If that was the case, then broken duck necks should be commonplace all across the country.
You would think
Mallard
so, yeah.
ducks fly all the time. And if they,
They like to fly into all the birds get hit with the windmills. They kill lots of birds.
oh yeah, yeah, wind
Yeah.
turbines are bird death traps. But the environmentalists won't tell you that because they love wind turbines. You know. So I think it's something similar is going on here. The environmentalists want to claim that this new project that, all this um, Center for Biological Diversity. They want all of this. So, if you make it look like it's causing problems with migratory bird species, then that makes it a whole nother level. There's a treaty there, international treaty, Canada and the US, because birds they don't care about borders. So make it an international issue. If you can manage to convince people that it is killing migratory birds. So I can see a motivation for warped and evil-minded people to intentionally kill birds in order to further a political goal. I don't see a way that birds' necks would break naturally, but this is assuming that the claim that I had made that the ducks' necks were broken, that they died from, broken neck strangulation, whatever, that had, if that is true, that would have to have been done maliciously.
You would think
If it's
so.
not true, then what the hell is going on? And then there is a reason to, but there's nowhere else in the entire country where a pool liner has resulted in bird deaths like this. So
I
to
hadn't
try
even
to,
heard about the birds.
Right.
I just
This
heard
is
the paint
new.
was peeling.
This has just happened in the past couple days. The birds coming out. And there's videos on, have you seen videos of like weird, I mean, I hate saying that like because it makes me sound like a politicized, but the weird leftist progressives with signs protesting and cheering the algae at the pools. You can find on YouTube, you can find videos of like people, multicolored rainbow hair and I mean the typical type that you expect to see at like far left demonstrations. They're holding signs and like cheering, leaning over. It's like, yeah, algae, you go, algae. I mean,
That's bizarre.
so if that's the mindset of some of these people, it's not a big leap to go from that to oh snap, boom, dead ducks. It's killing ducks too.
Yeah, I
Try
don't
to make
know.
it
I
look
haven't
as
seen
bad
a
as
lot of that,
possible. Yeah. I don't know.
but
I know that the algae cheering is real. So the duck necks, strangled ducks needs to be confirmed. Um, but um
I seen it
but
on the news that the guys that are in the pool, try to clean it. Uh, they said some stuff about how they shouldn't be in there for long and stuff. I don't know exactly why, but it looks like walking around like a swamp area because you really can't see the bottom. Uh, how much did they say it was costing to clean this?
$16 million renovation in algae. Um
What kind of
well, you
reflecting
got
is
to
that?
add
I
in
don't
another
know.
$1 million to fix the lawn for his UFC birthday party he had a couple weeks ago.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's like it's harkening back to the emperors of Rome throwing gladiatorial games to distract the populace from their unpopular wars overseas. So, is anybody else like getting a hint of the like echoes of that, or was I just kind of
Oh no, I heard it.
like,
I thought you were gonna keep going.
no, I that was my impression when I heard that, in front of the White House lawn, UFC and yeah, big 250th event. It's like this sounds like Roman gladiatorial games, you know.
Yeah, kind of.
I was
They had
thinking
Rarely,
they'd
some
shut it
great
very
down.
fights.
rarely would they ever um, do fights to the death. The gladiators were kind of celebrities of the time. Um, that's just like kind of UFC fighters. They would go
Yeah,
and fans had their favorites and followed and they watched and yeah. So
I don't think they should have done it at the White House, period.
it's yeah. I agree. Better to keep the national
Right.
image headquarters like
Let's not come build a
respected.
big arena and have,
Yeah,
thousands of people out here screwing it all up when it's going to cost $1 million to fix the lawn so they can do the Easter egg roll next year. You know, it just makes no sense to me why they would do that. But,
Did they
you know,
Was the pond, was it have turning green before the 250? The fight, was it already like that, or could it have been someone throwing something in there?
That I don't know.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't remember hearing about it until it was green. So I mean, before it was going bad, I was wondering if that happened once once people went there, which could have been the cause, but yeah, it's not shining anymore. And 16 million to clean it is a lot. Yeah. Mm. It's coming out of our tax dollars. Uh, so
Well,
yeah,
where
I'm
did
not
they
getting
go?
taxed at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I was almost done with the article. There's a couple more paragraphs. It didn't say anything about where the people got arrested. But okay, Trump pitched the original improvements as intended to clean, beautify, and reinforce an iconic site that he said had become dilapidated and dirty because of previous presidents' neglect. Algae has plagued the pool for a century, and Trump insisted that the newly installed American flag blue coating, which he selected himself. Ooh, a bit
Of
of
course he did.
a decorator's eye, is it? I wonder if they
Listen,
called it American flag blue before Trump picked it, or if Trump picked the color and then said, we're going to call that American blue, American flag blue, right? Because you know how they have those like those big books and you give
algae
every
green,
single one a different like
every shade.
floofy name, you know, rose hip red and dark red and what uh burgundy. It's, or how many different shades of white are there, right? Oh, eggshell,
Yeah.
ivory.
It's gonna start getting gray until it gets black.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Uh,
yeah.
but Trump, yeah, Trump pitched the original, insisted that the new it would turn the pool into a gleaming expanse along the National Mall. Within weeks of Trump declaring the rehabilitation completed in time for Independence Day, the water was plagued by a vivid green algae bloom that clouded the pool's coating. A piece of liner about 4 square feet was observed on Friday, partially floating in the pool. The Associated Press saw additional pieces in the water on Monday. Workers were seen in recent days pouring hydrogen peroxide into the pool in an attempt to kill the algae. Hydrogen peroxide can act as a paint remover. Experts say the dark lining can add to algae growth by absorbing more sunlight than lighter surfaces. That raises surrounding water temperature, allowing algae to thrive. Yeah.
Seems like they
Maybe,
didn't think it all through very well.
maybe Big Orange Daddy shouldn't have been allowed to pick the color. Maybe that's something that should have been left to experts, delegate it to
What
somebody
color?
who's, some department who actually knows what they're doing and saying, hey, fix the National Mall, make it pretty, and then let them do and
What
pick the
color was it at
colors.
first?
Huh?
What color was it at first?
I think it was just the like pool liner color, normal, like
Oh,
white,
okay.
whitish or stone or concrete, whatever material it was made of. I don't know. I think they just drained it and applied a liner over the top of it. But yeah, the dark color would be a big problem for the temperature like that and for thermal expansion. It would want to grow bigger than the underlying material. And on the sides, that would be, right up at the edges. Um, I don't know. I can't imagine whatever contractor was hired to do this would have been able to get any word in edgewise if they tried to tell Trump, this won't work well. You should go with this other color instead. They probably just had to do, okay, we're gonna do it. Yeah,
That's what he wants.
yeah. I don't know.
It makes me wonder when they
Right.
go in to repair it, are they going to do the same color?
Yeah,
And
Hmm.
are we going to have a repeat?
They're probably going to have something that doesn't make it, I mean, that makes it last longer. He's definitely, I believe it might be there again and find a way to make it last longer. Uh, hey, I'm thinking it might, but yeah, you never know. It's a lot going on these days. He might have more important things. You never know. Um,
well, here, a video. Pink and green-haired liberals are now cheering the algae bloom at National Mall, claiming that the algae is fighting fascism. Yeah, people filmed cheering the algae, leaning over, messing it. Team algae, people, you know, yeah.
so people are excited about the algae.
People are loving the algae. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't think it's that much of a leap to go from, cheering the algae because the algae makes Trump's renovation thing look bad to, killing a duck, leaving dead ducks in the pond would make Trump look even worse, right? It goes from just like an algae bloom in Trump's project to a duck death machine that the whole, an international treaty needs to be. So I don't know. Yeah, I, I, whether they actually killed the ducks or not, like, why are the ducks there? How did they get there? I mean, it's good that they're in investigating it, but I can't see any way that the lining and the restoration project itself would be responsible for killing ducks, broken neck or not. Like, that's just not something that pool liners do anywhere else in the country, at least. So yeah, I don't know. Good for them to investigate, but I don't know.
Oh,
Both sides sound crazy.
yeah. Anybody out there watching? Great time to press that thumbs up button. Hey, it's up to you. Uh, how you guys doing today? I don't
How
think
can
I've
we
asked yet.
possibly have a reflecting pool with an algae problem in Washington, D.C. when we have a White House full of bottom feeders? That's that's a good one. That's a good line. I kind of like that. That's funny. Right?
We are live. No, you
Yeah.
didn't mean to say that.
Huh?
Too late now. Said we're already live, and you said that.
Yeah, I did. I think
Everybody
it's a
heard
it's
that.
a good line. It's funny. It's a good one. They got a good
Yeah,
one. Yeah. White House full of bottom feeders. How do you get an algae bloom?
that might go viral.
No, that's somebody else's Instagram line. I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
You're
see
not
it.
claiming
funny.
that one?
But I mean, yeah, if you go and just do a search in Google, um, protesters cheering algae bloom, Washington, D.C., you'll find all kinds of stuff. There are crazies out there in every direction, on every political position, I think. So I shouldn't necessarily just assume that mine is the reasonable one, right? But
Yeah, I
oh,
think there's crazy people everywhere. People that get way too worked up over
now
things they don't need to get worked
Everything.
up over.
Yeah. Um, what is it? When I told someone I was going to do a podcast, there was one person that said nobody's going to watch that. And then there was one person who said everybody has their thing. You never know who's going to watch it. But they said that to the other person. Um, yeah, there's going to be people that hates it. There's going to be people who like it. Going to be people who loves it.
yeah,
There's always someone to hate on everything.
well, hey, yeah. If Democrats and the far left want to cheer for pond scum, then that's their position. I would rather have a clean national capital. Pond scum. Literally cheering pond scum.
Um, yeah,
That's the left.
it's on the news every other day here.
Yeah. I saw
They
the
start
ducks though, and I
into
was like, that's crazy. I don't know. Now I kind of feel like I was duped, and I feel a little embarrassed I didn't dig a little further, but I don't know. It's not necessarily
it.
just because something doesn't show up on a quick initial search doesn't mean it's not there either. So I might keep digging. It might be buried a little bit further, but yeah. Where did I see the ducks' necks were broken? That's going to bother me. And whether they were actually broken or not, because not
Um,
showing up in the initial results, I don't know. Well,
yeah,
I
the
hadn't even
broken.
heard about ducks dying.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that either. I heard about them being in there, but I didn't hear anything about them dying or the necks broken. That's
Yeah, well, I still got to confirm the neck's broken or not. That might be. But yeah. Oh, hey, here, National Park Police released video of person near Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, pulling something out of the water. Yeah. How dumb is it? How sad is it that we need to have undercover National Park Service and DC police officers, plainclothes police officers walking around a national monument to make sure that people stop defacing it. That says a lot
Society in
about
this
the
country?
country, about the subset of society that is doing that, because it's not all of society that is out there. I mean, it does have a commentary on that, or does speak to the overall society that would produce those people, but I think most Americans would just like our capital to be nice, pretty, clean, safe,
You would think.
low crime.
Such a novel idea.
um,
Yeah, it's stupid. That article is saying Trump, with no proof, is saying this, that, or the other. If you just look for, you can see videos of people doing it. There's, yeah, there's social media posts of people who've filmed each other leaning over and scripting and
Yeah,
man,
those people. There's a video of a lady on her knees, a grown woman putting her hand in the pond. Um, doesn't look like any cops are around, but adults. These aren't children. These are adults doing stupid stuff. Like, why poke at it? Why make it worse? Um,
yeah. It, mm. A former
um,
Olympian is among at least 10 people who, why is it? Where is the,
an
yeah,
Olympian was one
at
of them.
least 10 people who have been cited for vandalism. Yeah, at least 10 people.
Did you say
But
one
with
was an
no
Olympian?
proof. And now they're showing the people being taken away in handcuffs who were caught on the scene actively doing it. And they say, with no proof that it was vandalized. No proof that there are vandals doing it. Well, you just look. If you look, if you do any diligence before writing your article, then you can see that there is, maybe Trump didn't provide the proof links to every single instance in his tweets, but since when has Trump ever been like completely coherent in any of his tweets, so what? You always double check everything President Trump says anyway. Why wouldn't you? So, yeah, if they had bothered to do that, then they wouldn't need to say with no evidence. They'd just say, I don't know, 10 people though, that's not that many. They could say only 10 people have been caught, whatever. I don't know.
So far.
There's a whole set. I mean, trying to make a president you don't like look bad by vandalizing memorials is it's
Like I said,
I
also these are adults, so
yeah, it's
yeah.
They're
not
not
So
acting very adult.
right. It's
right,
not mm,
yeah, makes no sense. You know it's trying to get fixed, and you want to keep going and making it worse. And
yeah. Well, that's part of the thing. The more that the cost rises, the worse Trump looks for spending money
yeah,
unnecessarily, right? And it's like, oh, this stupid ongoing, it's never ending problem,
don't
debacle
let
of
it get clean.
all of this stuff. And yeah, they're just, I mean, of course it'll get more and more and more expensive to completely repair permanently if you keep defacing it, chipping, peeling. You, uh, it's a manufactured problem and solely politically motivated. That's what I can see here.
That many people don't like their president. Yeah, somebody even voted for him. Look at this, you guys. Uh, I got it on,
Thumbs,
Andrea.
thumbs up if you like Pookie's thumb brace.
Yeah. Uh, if you guys didn't know, the thumb has been broken for over a month, and I did not go to the emergency room because I thought, it'll just heal. But I did not know that it was broken, and now we're here. They did not give me a timeline about taking this off. I looked through the paperwork, and there was no amount of time that it said keep it on, and it was at the emergency room. So I was thinking yesterday I'm gonna try like 3 weeks and then take it off. Uh,
I
it
believe
feels
it's
better.
normally 4 to 6.
Okay.
We
I'll try
could
that then.
check what Dr. Google says.
Um, yeah, and it is kind of still swollen in certain parts, but it looks good in other areas. Like the whole thing was swollen at one point in time. Now it's uh, just the upper knuckle where he said there was a fracture in there. Uh, yeah, that part is not going down. Like, if I take the brace off, you can see. I don't know if you can see
Don't
right
take the
there,
brace off.
but
Don't take the brace off. Leave it there.
no,
Don't show us. We don't need to see if it
it's
requires taking the brace off.
yeah. Let me just put it like that. You can see how swollen it is next to the brace. Uh,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Google says finger splint for a broken thumb is typically 4 to 6 weeks. Andrea, spot on. Yeah, though it can be up to 8 to 10 weeks for more serious fractures to ensure proper healing. So, did they give you any indication about how serious it was or how long to wear the splint?
Um, I forgot the paperwork in the other room. They did not tell me how long to keep it on. They were just like, "All right, you're done. That's all."
When I broke my ankle, I had to wear my cast for over 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just keep it there for I mean the full 6 weeks. Don't take 4 to 6 as meaning four. Don't split the difference. I'd say wear the full 6 weeks because you went an entire month without it immobilized and you were using it and trying to treat it like normal and just like, oh, it just hurts. It's like, no, it's been every time you've been doing that, you were working the fracture and all that
It's,
stuff. So
it's,
it's yeah, wear it for six and keep it there. Don't just take it off,
Listen to Dr.
put
Mark.
it back on. No, that's not the
will
way
do.
finger splints are supposed to be used. You keep it on, you leave it on. It's immobilizing. That's the whoa. What happened to the lava lens?
Um,
Oh, did my battery die?
I don't know.
Oh, damn. I think my battery died. Did I?
Huh. The lava lens is down, you guys, but
No.
we'll get it back. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
battery's dead.
So
It'll take a
I was
minute. I got
thinking,
to
like,
reboot.
I was thinking, that I might take it off when it I was gonna say unthaws, when it's not swollen anymore. Um, because even trying ice didn't help. I mean, with the swelling, uh,
That's
yeah,
because you walked around with it broken for a month before you went to the damn hospital.
yeah, that could be the cause.
Yeah,
But yeah, once the swelling goes down, I'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna keep it on for a while because yeah, that's the only thing that I'm worried about because my nail was turning purple at the bottom at first, but now it's kind of just pinkish. So I'm hoping that's getting better. Uh,
yeah, the nail turning purple sounds like it may have been getting ready to just fall off.
oh,
Just
that
sort of,
sucks.
You
like the
might lose your nail.
yeah.
It's possible.
You're scaring me. Um,
Don't worry, you got another
yeah, I don't want
thumbnail though. You got a spare.
It'll grow back.
Yeah.
to. Oh,
Or it
okay.
won't. Either way, you know, the thumb will be there.
Well, hope for the best. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Nature Made. I need to get something, see if they got anything to help broken bones or
Calcium.
healing. Calcium.
Just
There we
make sure you
go.
take your multivitamins and everything, all that, and getting good nutrition. And yeah, calcium is big, strong bones, right? That's what I remember when I was little, you know, plenty of calcium. growing more.
Calcium with vitamin D.
Okay.
Some sun,
I'll look into that.
get some sunlight. National
Um,
Sunglasses Day, but you're unprepared for that, Pookie.
yeah, you guys, it's National Sunglasses Day. So if you got your sunglasses around, find them. Support the holiday. I do not have sunglasses. I was unprepared for this. And yeah, I don't know. I think I look better without sunglasses, so I just never tried them. I
No,
mean,
you just haven't found the
never.
right pair yet. You got to go and see how the
There you
frames
go.
fit your face. It
I used to have
might take
some.
some trial and error,
I had a
but
couple pair, but they were just too big. I didn't like how they fit my face after seeing pictures of myself from that time in my life. I was like, those glasses were ridiculous. Why did I wear those? Um,
I mean,
Too late
fashion is
now.
cyclical. What looks ridiculous to you now may have been like the thing back then, right?
May have. You're right.
Like
I
those
thought I was the shit
wide-legged
back then.
jeans and stuff, the Jenko jeans back in the 90s and stuff, and now they're cool with the Zoomers
Yeah,
again. I wonder if the Zoomers know that those were what us millennials thought were cool when we were children. That might make it a little bit less
right.
cool to them.
After
They're
bell
they're
bottoms
wearing their
left,
parents'
straight legs came.
stuff. Sorry?
I remember when they had just skinny jeans, and then they had super skinnies.
Yeah. Paint on jeans.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
was ridiculous. Uh,
I mean,
Super skinny was hilarious when I found out it is a thing.
yeah.
Then we
I
had
I
straight
was
legs, and then straight legs turned into skinny straight. So all jeans, they eventually they're straight up here, and then they get slim around your legs. I don't like those. So there's a couple companies that I specifically go to, like True Religion, and there's a couple other pair of jeans that I have. The only companies that still have straight leg jeans. I like mine. It's just straight, no flares at the bottom. I mean, that's cool and all, but
yeah.
I'm not keep up with the times. I don't. Well, I don't want the
Uh
flares right now. Like straight
yeah.
leg. It's
I
all.
buy boot cut.
I do have some of those, and I didn't buy them on purpose, but they're nice jeans. Uh, yeah, do have some of those, and yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah,
Not something I go looking for.
I um I like the like 100% cotton like raw denim thing, that whole like subgroup
Or
culture or whatever, wear one pair of jeans for years and years and years until it wears out and stuff, but break them in
wow,
right from the start, not like pre broken in, tumbled, washed, all that stuff to loosen them up, relax them. So really stiff and starchy at first, but after a few years of wearing them and stuff, they like soften right where your
Few years,
bits need them to. Yeah, yeah.
I
But I
couldn't do
mean,
it,
yeah,
but I
well, I
can't
mean,
stand
right?
stretchy jeans.
that's the thing. I don't like stretchy jeans either, so I can't. So they're all 100% cotton. They stretch out a bit in areas where I need a little more room, and they, work and soften up in places where they get tightened and everything and stuff. But I mean, it's a bit
Then they
more
just fit like a
expensive
glove.
initially, but then yeah, after a few years, after a while, they fit like a glove and just, and having
Mm,
started out from like the unwashed raw state, you get so much more life out of them because they haven't gone through, the manufacturing process of washing them over and over and over again to fade them to whatever color, acid wash, right? And all of this
yeah,
pre-broken in stuff. It's all just taking life out of the fabric, It'll last that
Um,
much shorter because of what they're doing to break it in beforehand and for the fashionable fading whatever and stuff. So,
But
um,
that makes them look pretty.
sure, yeah,
yeah,
that's fine. But I like mine, nice and dark, and they fade right where they get worked and rubbed and and I buy a pair of
yeah,
jeans and they're expensive. It's like $300 for a pair of jeans.
Holy
But
shit.
I mean,
oh
yeah,
no,
but this pair of
right,
jeans I have not had to replace in over a decade, and they're still just broken in, just right there. I mean, they've got another decade more, more than another decade of worth of life out of them. I probably will still be able to wear these jeans until I'm dying.
all right.
They will not break down.
That's commitment.
My
Buy
dad,
a pair of jeans that
my dad,
last that long.
Yeah. Well, hey, when you're going to spend that much money on something, it better last a long time. That was my rationale. I thought, if it'll last
yeah, 10 years was good.
for the rest of my life, then, that's, same with the belt. I got
Um,
a leather belt. It's never gonna break down, never gonna wear out and stuff. So, yeah.
uh, my dad, all of his jeans seem to be the same color, just that natural dark blue Levi's.
The darker
I've
blue.
never really seen in his closet, but that's what it seems like he wears, other than
Yeah.
his work clothes. Uh, I mean, he looks good in them. He likes the color dark blue, and
Yeah. It's like,
when you see him, you just know he's gonna have those blue Levi's, either a blue shirt or a black shirt and a hat. Yeah, my dad
sounds
doesn't have hair. He's
sounds
wearing a hat.
pretty
But when
close
you
to
say
my
jeans,
uniform,
jeans lasting long, I have some jeans that I was just telling my mom about the other day. They're True Religion, but back in 2016, I think they were kind of skinnier. So I was looking at them thinking maybe I weighed more back then because I had stopped wearing them for a while because they were kind of skinny jeans. But now they got I got some room in them. Uh, so yeah, I lost a lot of weight since 6 years ago. Those jeans are no longer tight; they are far from tight. Uh, so,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
lost weight too. So I've got a little extra room in these. And my
I
belt, I'm
can't
all the way on
choose.
the tightest hole in this belt, and I might need to get a get a leather punch and give myself another little thing on this belt here. But yeah, it's like all the epilepsy meds. I think I've lost weight since being put on all of them. So I didn't have
It's
any
weird
weight that
that
I could have spared to
I
begin with. So
I lose weight in different areas. Like my shirts at one point, I was getting a little heavy. I was like 196, and my shirts were all like up here. So now I'm 187, and it's kind of leveled out. I don't have a little gut anymore, which is nice. Um, but my legs are skinny. I'm not gonna say lost weight. That was a dumb way to say it. But yeah, when I tried those pants on, I was like, it's funny how skinny my legs are now. I mean, you can't notice by looking at them, but you can look at these pants, and if I go one day, those were skinny jeans once upon a time. They're gonna go, wow, I'm even skinnier these days, is what that means.
yeah,
Uh, don't
yeah,
remember growing up since high school, but yeah, I got some stuff from high school, like my Giants jersey. Uh, it fits even better these days. It
nice.
started getting tight in high school, but now it fits good. Um, and I don't think I've weighed more than I weigh now. I weighed less back then, and it's just the weight decides to go to whatever area it decides to. You don't get to choose.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, that's part of aging, right? And
right.
as the male body gets older, it tends to accumulate more and right belly area and stuff, and that's I I don't know.
You
I
know
haven't
something funny? I was
accumulated any fat to distribute anywhere, so I just like, you could basically just imagine me as a 5'10" tall skeleton that clothes get draped over. Um,
uh
so small anything fits well.
one day me and my stepmom were looking
20,
at
28-inch waist is
not
yeah.
we were looking at this one guy, somebody we knew, but she was like, it's funny how guys, their stomach grows out, and women, their stomach droops. Um, yeah, his stomach was so big that he was like this, just holding his arms like this on his belly. Uh, we were looking at him from across the way, like,
Yeah.
yeah, so you see how he
He
just
can
arms just sit right on his belly, and he
he can
just
sit his plate on it when he eats dinner.
Yeah, recline
he,
and you
he,
got
he for
your
surely can. If I
table
seen him,
right there.
I definitely ask him that. That's something I'm gonna ask him now that if I see him. Yeah, definitely could put a plate there because he had his hands there comfortably. Uh,
I mean, as
I
long as
mean
he's not
arms
touchy
like
about
this.
his weight, you might make some people angry. Can be touchy.
Um,
I
he's
don't know.
not really a big guy. Just
I've,
has a big belly. Uh, that's what
well,
I'm saying. We can't really choose where we want our weight to go. And he's an older guy, maybe early 50s, but the belly is there. The legs, you if he was turned around by the legs, you wouldn't think he was a big guy. Then he turns around, just belly out. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't get like that. Yeah, I'm praying I don't get like that. But I do got something else here. My next funny post, I mean, article says, I don't fancy my wife anymore, but I'm terrified of divorcing her. Mm. Almost half the marriages in the UK end in divorce, but that doesn't make them any less scary. This week's reader has been living a double life for almost a year, juggling a much younger girl from work and a wife who is described as a brilliant homemaker. His mistress is demanding he make a decision, but can't seem to bring himself to confess and officially file a divorce. From the sounds of it, he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Keep The problem is, no doubt, I'm not the first person to write to you with this problem, so I'm sorry for not being very original. I feel like I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear it anyway. I'm 54-year-old, married with two adult kids who have left home. My wife is still as lovely as the day we met, and I have nothing but praise for her. She's a brilliant homemaker who has supported me for more than 30 years, and she's witty, clever, and attractive. The trouble is, I don't fancy her anymore. We haven't had sex for years. She doesn't become, oh, she's a, she's become like a sister to me. Man. And although I've tried my best, she doesn't just do it for me anymore. Enter the much younger girl at work, uh, just a bit older than my daughter. To be honest, what started as an innocent bit of fun and flirting eventually became much more, and we've now been having an affair for over 8 months. My wife is busy most evenings with her book club, running club, and a few other clubs. I can't remember. And when I go out, she doesn't even notice. I'm crazy about my lover, but at the same time, I feel like I'm being stupid old man getting involved with someone so young. She insists the age gap doesn't matter and wants me to leave my wife. In progress. I'm really torn about what to do because I'm terrified of divorce, but I don't want to lose my girlfriend either. The advice is your lover may be getting younger and pretty and having an affair, with her is doubtless an amazing boost to your ego. Maybe that's something you needed because it didn't sound like your wife pays much attention to you. And then there's the great sex which you were also missing at home. However, in my experience, the thrill might wear off if you and your girlfriend were together all the time. You'll always be at different stages in life. And I've received too many letters from young men wishing they'd never left home and asking how to repair the marriage they threw away. You need to think about what you'd lose if you left your wife, not just a whole way, not just a whole way of life that you built up over many years, but the respect of your children who will doubtless side, who will doubtless side with their mom. Then there were all the financial implications and all the hassle that goes with losing your house and so on. Look, marriages end and people have happy lives with age gap partners. I get that. But leaving the life you have now is a huge decision, and you must ask yourself the love whether you love this girl enough to make that leap. You don't sound sure. At the very least, try couples counseling to see whether you and your wife can get back on track. You're both equally responsible for the situation you're in now, and if she truly understood the perilous state of her marriage, she might do whatever she could to save it. Right. If that fails, you do end up leaving home, at least you'll know you've tried. Yeah.
They just said everything I was gonna say.
Yeah. If it isn't working and you tried therapy, then you should go. Um, but I think you should try because he has the option of being with his wife. You should let her know and see how that goes now because that's messed up for her not to know. And that's messed up to have one for 8 months and she never sees the signs of you just leaving home while she's at her clubs. Uh, I thought that was
It
messed up.
seems like it seems like they both just kind of let it go. And they need to talk about it and try and fix it. And having an affair is not the way to do it.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a communication problem in their marriage, and that's not gonna get oh that's not gonna get resolved if there you know
Living
there is
separate
no
lives.
if there is no effort made to bridge that communication gap, you know, just walking away is not, I mean, it's not fair to the partner. Um,
Yeah,
they have no idea what's coming and then just out of the blue, bam. That's not how, yeah, that's not, no, I don't know.
it's messed
I
up.
think all of
Go to
society
counsel.
takes marriage and divorce too lightly and treat it like it, you know, I don't, it's,
Uh, yeah, for that
uh,
guy, don't leave your wife. Try to work it out. But I say do tell her about the affair because that's messed up to her. Uh, what I was
Honesty
going to
is
say,
always
the
best.
grass is not always. What I was going to say is the grass is not always greener on the other side. You know that. Might feel great now. Then you leave your wife and you're going to be thinking, she's not doing this like she was, or she's not
well,
doing this. So fix those things with the wife. The
yeah,
things you're saying she's not doing, try it out. But I don't suggest keep going more than 8 months
it
without saying
seems
there's a
like
problem.
there's there's a lot of like fun feelings involved in the beginning of a relationship with somebody else, and if that's what they're enjoying with this affair, what they lack from their partner and what they're seeking, that's not, I don't know, that's a lifetime of marriage is not going to be a lifetime of those like relationship beginning, butterfly, tummy,
The honeymoon stage.
it's a, yeah, honey, yes, Andrea for the win. Yeah, honeymoon phase. Perfect way to put it. You can't expect your entire life to go through like that. And so an affair is kind of like getting a honeymoon phase, again, seeking that from somebody else outside of the marriage. And that's not, that's, if that's what they're seeking, then that's just going to end up probably leading eventually again to another, affair outside of what that. And it's just going to be a pattern of, honeymoon phase seeking. And that's not what love and commitment in a marriage is supposed to be. Um,
The person writing the article said something about it's going to change when you got to be around that person every day, all day. Uh, so
That's when the
that
honeymoon
thrill,
ends.
yeah, that thrill of having that person you can go to, and not that I know personally, allegedly, um, that person you can go and you don't have to deal with that person emotionally. Uh, wait, if you get a cheating and you get emotions with this person, that's different. Then both of you guys are
Well,
deeply
and think about
invested
it
when you.
this way too. If they're willing to cheat with a married person, what are they willing to do if you're in an exclusive relationship with them?
Right. Mm, good stuff, Andrew. Right.
yeah, yeah,
I've been divorced twice.
okay.
Uh, divorced twice. I got something even worse. It says I was married 3 times by 26, but my fourth wedding
By
is going to be the
26?
last. Yes, but my fourth wedding is going to be the last. I don't know how you said that, and that was on my screen. Um, my relationships are a running joke in my family, says Sarah Eatery, 35 years old. The bride to be is set to get married this month, and while her loved one's assessment might seem harsh, it's understandable. By the age of 26, Sarah had been married and divorced 3 times. Her marriage to Kevin, 32, will be her fourth walk down the aisle. Only this time, she knows it'll last. From Sarah, from Chicago, USA, says she finally feels safe and secure in her relationship. She is not embarrassed of her past, proudly putting 3 times divorce in her Instagram bio. Wow. Sarah first said, I do, when she was just a teenager. The first time I got married, I was 19, and I don't think I really knew what marriage entailed, she says. After meeting in high school, Sarah married her first spouse in 2010. Her partner wanted to join the military and would be stationed in South Korea, so the pair felt it was best to tie the knot. The decision didn't go down well with her family, though, and her father refused to attend the small civil ceremony, watched by just 7 guests. Yeah, everyone was telling me that it was a mistake, but I didn't care what people thought. Sarah, a
I mean,
compliance manager,
if
says. Sarah
everybody
became,
you know is
quote,
telling you
housewife.
something's a mistake, that's a sign you should listen. If a couple people, that's kind of, yeah, you can brush that aside. But a universal opinion that what you're about to do is a mistake, if that doesn't make you rethink something, then yeah,
Hey,
I guess somebody some people can only learn the hard way, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
Uh,
Wait, oh,
yeah. It says everyone was telling me it was a big mistake, but I didn't care what people thought. Sarah, a compliance manager, says Sarah became an in quote housewife in South Korea, and she was unable to continue her college education online, feeling lonely without any friends or family in the country. The marriage quickly became strained, and the couple separated 10 months in. And with Sarah returning to the U.S., she says the split felt more like a breakup, but she didn't anticipate how the divorce would affect me long term. 2 years later, she met her second husband through a mutual friend, and the pair became engaged as soon as Sarah's first divorce was finished after just 5 months of knowing one another. I only married my second husband for the on paper benefits. I didn't tell anyone, she explains. The pair didn't tell anyone and had just two colleagues as witnesses. He sold me the idea that I'd get health insurance through him, she added. And as he was in the Army, Sarah's second husband could leave the barracks and get an apartment if he wanted, oh, if he was married. After a small wedding with just two of his colleagues as witnesses, a few months later in November 2012, she realized
it
she had
sounds
made a
like
mistake.
yeah, it sounds like he's using her
Yeah,
for the benefits it
sounds
gets
like she
him.
made a
He gets
mistake.
to leave
After
the
two
barracks and
years,
yeah. Is she still over in Korea then? Or did they say did she
this article
had she
still
said
reading.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Article's not over. We'll find out after we get to the fourth marriage. Says, I really didn't know him at all, and we just weren't compatible, she said, adding that her family only found out about the short lived marriage after it had ended. 2 years later, in 2014, she met her third husband on eHarmony. I was hesitant at first, as he was in the military too, and I had already been divorced twice from military men, she said. The pair had a big wedding with 100 guests and a uh, Versailles theme venue in 2017. I don't know if that's Versailles. In
Versailles,
2017, yeah. Versailles. There's an
Versailles,
L in there.
France.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Versaille
yes.
or yeah, Versailles.
Okay.
So it's a
The
French
pair had.
theme, like French royalty theme.
Thank you. Thanks for the pronunciation because I said it totally wrong. Anyhow, um, yet a year later, in 2018, the relationship had already broken down. Through Sarah was initially hesitant to add another divorce to her record, saying on TikTok going to force she was in quote going to force myself through it. Sharing her story on TikTok, Sarah revealed that there were intimacy issues, jealousy, and controlling behaviors. I felt like a failure, but my dad said not to be embarrassed and that the right guy won't care that I've been divorced 3 times. Up until that point, it was the longest relationship I'd ever been in. It was 5 years later, in June 2023, that Sarah, now in her 30s, met Kevin at a wedding and immediately hit it off. I was bridesmaid and he was a groomsman, she said. Between shared laughs and at the ceremony, a few accidental dance floor injuries, and what was supposed to be a one night conversation, something clicked. A year later, the duo officially began dating. Life threw a few curveballs, but exactly 1 year later, Kevin reached back out. The pair wrote on their wedding website. This time, Sarah had been single for several years, and Kevin was unfazed by her romantic history. When I met Kevin, he'd already been married, so he wasn't bothered by my divorces. I think he thought it made me more interesting. After a year of dating, the pair got engaged in August 2025, despite her trio of short term marriages. Sarah is confident that this relationship is set for the long haul. I have no concerns about Kevin, and I really want to make this marriage work for good, says the bride to be. Sarah says The wedding will be a small ceremony with only about 30 guests in attendance. The pair says, we're not having a traditional registry as we've both been married before and do not expect our guests to gift us anything. Though her fiance is not worried about the prospect of being husband number 4, not everyone around them has shared their couple's confidence. My sister jokes that the marriage would the last 2 years, but they all really want it to work out, she says. If it doesn't work out, I wouldn't get married again unless they were really, really rich, she jokes. That's all. Yeah, marry for the money. Not that I advise that. Yeah, it happens often.
Well, it's like
4 times is a
everything
lot,
wrong
though.
with that generation, all summed up right there.
Yeah, 4 times is a lot. Yeah, I want one time to be my one and last. If it doesn't last, then it's just going on without marriage. Yeah, I
I'm
couldn't do
never getting
4. I
married
don't know.
again.
Well, that's good advice for me right there. Twice is too many, or 2 is too many. 1 too many.
My first marriage was we were married either 5.5 or 6.5 years. I don't remember because it's been a really long time ago. I was married with a mortgage and 2 kids by the time I was 22. So that was just, I'm young and dumb. And then the second one was a extremely volatile relationship that lasted. We were together about 10 years, but we were married for 8. And then I was in another long-term relationship, but he passed away. We were together for 12.5 years.
Nice.
So, but no, I'm never getting married again. 2 is enough. Divorces are messy and awful.
Prenups are good. You write everything down. This is what you get when it's over.
Yeah, and then you have to go to court because everybody's going to fight about the prenup. It might make it easier, but it's still going to suck, especially if you have kids or real
Yeah.
estate involved.
Yeah. I don't plan on, yeah, not 2 times, like you said, 2 times. One time, if it doesn't work, I'll just deal with it. But yeah, I don't plan to be married all the times like you. Thanks for the advice. It's good to know. And the last article was kind of telling us that divorce is quite common. So
I mean,
Now, to me,
yeah,
it's
a lot of people treat it casually, like this person did, just try someone on, try 'em off, it's like, oh, just get married and instead of like treat that as, oh, no.
I just
I don't-
I don't need a piece of paper and all that to know if I'm in a good relationship or not. To show commitment. That piece of paper is just a piece of paper for the government. I don't need that.
right. Um, you just made a lot of things make sense.
I seem to
If
do
you
that to
tell
you a
someone
lot,
we
don't
don't
I?
need the paper, yeah, now I can say we don't need the paper. It's okay. It's just a piece of paper.
Some people it is extremely important to. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure Mark disagrees because of his religious feelings that, the getting married and in the church and taking vows and all of that is very important.
It is,
Me, it's not.
it's a religious sacrament. Well, I think it is maybe, well, yeah. The end result of my um seriousness of and your lack of seriousness is ironically the same. like not getting married. Um, yeah. Uh, Marriage is meant to be a religious sacrament. One man, one woman in the presence of God, and church witnesses who are intended to be there, witness the vows being taken, to treasure and hold for life, and meant to keep them accountable to that vow in the presence of God. Um, it is not something to just walk away from. Um, with the exception of um, marital infidelity or violence. Both of those are clear violations of the religious oath that is taken in the marriage ceremony. But aside from that, it is, one and done. Um, and so, yeah, I've never had a serious
Yeah.
relationship, um, and therefore have never had any serious relationship develop to the point of fully um, taking that commitment. So, I don't know. At this point, it's looking like I'm probably not gonna get married. But eh,
You
whatever.
never know. Love could still find you.
I was gonna say
That's
that.
good. If it is the plan, then it will happen, but
Right.
I am not actively seeking. I've got other stuff I need to deal with for now. Um,
I was
Plus I
actually
have
in
no
the I hate
opportunity.
men. I was after two divorces, I was at the all men suck, I don't want anything to do with them stage when I met my last partner, and we were together longer than anyone else that I've ever been with. It was an amazing relationship. Unfortunately, he passed away. So, but I mean, I'm open to it. I'm not looking for it, but I'm open to it. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Some
yeah,
people just want that get on one knee in public ceremony with someone. They just want that piece. So important. Um,
right. Yeah,
They want the fairy tale.
right. Yeah.
right.
Well, and that's another thing. There is, yeah.
Life
Oh,
is not a Disney movie.
that would be another good answer to last night's icebreaker question. What is one lie that was told to you when you were a kid that, that like, or whatever was it, yeah, that
That was proven not to be
that
true.
there the soulmate myth, there is somebody out there meant specifically for you, and you will meet them and fall in love, and everything will be perfect and just come together because of their, being meant to, and I don't believe that either. It's something that takes work and commitment between both parties, and otherwise you're going to be at risk of misinterpreting that honeymoon phase as being the identification of your soulmate. And then when that falls away, it's like, what the hell? This isn't marriage. This isn't what I signed up for. I was like,
Right.
Didn't do
you
your
didn't know what
research.
you were signing up for. That's why everybody
Right.
was telling you, no, don't. Bad idea. This
Yeah.
is not
The whole
how you,
family.
yeah, this is not how you handle life. This is not, yeah, it's not going to be good for either one of you. Um,
I can say if after 4 to 5 years, maybe less, depending on the person. Uh, then I can think about marriage. But I'm not gonna jump to it after 2 years. Like that girl, after 2 years, she was married. Then she got with another person 2 years later, and she was married for 5 years. Uh, I can't just jump in. You got to get to know a person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bedtime mark.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Interesting. Um,
Lyrica
yeah.
o'clock.
Take over. It is bedtime. How did I not notice? I did take my pills. I'm not sure. Um, Take over. I gotta go see my pill taker thing and see if I took the one for this morning because I don't remember.
Oh, yes, that's important. Double check.
Yes, I'll be right back.
All right, have fun. Um, so in the meantime, um, so what do you think of the lava lamp bottles? Do you think that number 1, 2, 3, 4 up, how do I 4? Should I cap that? Is it good, you think? Or maybe
Like, are you
see if,
asking about the flow or the colors?
yeah, the flow. Do you think it might benefit from a little surfactant, see if it can get a little blurpy, or
Yeah,
do you think it just a little? Yeah.
maybe just a little.
Let me see, put this down over here. So this might, is this clean? Yeah. Okay. Mm. There. Uh,
I really like the second one
yeah.
and the sixth one. Those
Yeah,
colors are just awesome.
the blue ones. I need to
Yeah.
let me see if I can get a good shot of uh, the metallic blue.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. The metallic just makes it look so cool.
Yeah.
They don't make those anymore, do they?
No, no, they only did this for like a quick little run. I think that there are a couple other, like, not the Lava brand, but like off-brand Chinese lamps that have done a uh um metallic color.
Similar.
Yeah, but uh,
Yeah, I
they
really like that one.
when it stretches and the swirls when they get all absorbed together again and stretch and yeah,
That's a good one. Definitely a good one.
yeah.
I'd be very pleased with that one.
I need to figure out what they did to get that metallic going.
Yeah,
Because if I can get that, if that's something that can um
be
just
replicated.
yeah, something that I could add to basically any sort of any color. Like I've got red here right here. If I could
Yeah,
get this red, get the bubbles out of the red one, and get that one, like add a little bit of that metallic stuff. Because the others, you don't really have any sort of indication of what's going on inside of the blobs in the bubbles, right? They just look like static, up and down. But there's a lot of fluid, you know. I don't know. That's part of what got me so fascinated by lava lamps initially was having studied fluid mechanics in college and seeing how intense, how complicated all of the physics and mathematics is, made me realize that, what these guys are doing is way complicated. Like, yeah, trying to um, trying to simulate a lava lamp, um, it would be very processor intensive. It would be a difficult thing for a computer to do. Um, that's why the company, I think it's Cloudflare. Um, I think we've even talked about this on the podcast before, but the company Cloudflare uses a wall of lava lamps that are all running to act as a random number generator uh, for their encryption service because all um, all encryption basically operates on uh, a really really fancy heavy duty math, really hard to do math and very specific numbers that you need to like match up with each other. Um, and, part of that includes needing a random number. So what they do is they have a camera, like a webcam, pointed at a wall of a whole bunch of lava lamps and watch, and the blobs go up and down, and there's like all kinds of activity. And if they take that camera data and just the frame of the camera and turn that file, each frame, from a visual representation of an image to like line by line, each pixel representing a number, a digit, then the image itself becomes basically a random number. And using an old kind of sketchy webcam kind of thing, I mean, not necessarily sketchy, but any sort of noise that happens, any kind of pixelation or resolution, noise, blur, or something on the part of the camera only adds to the randomness of the entire thing. So, yeah, that's how cool lava lamps are. They can
very
secure the
interesting.
entire internet. You okay, Pookie?
Yeah, that was quite a hit. Sorry. Yeah, made my eyes water.
Mm.
So it might have looked like I wasn't good, but I'm okay. Yeah. Uh, I got some Blue Dream in a cart. So that's what's going on. Blue Dream made my eyes water. If anybody out there knows what Blue Dream is, that's what I'm going through. and it is an indica. I was looking at old recordings of me, and my eyes would be closed by 7 o'clock my time, and that's just like with my pen all day, just smoking as we're doing it. Funny videos to look at it, like hours pass, and then slowly my eyes close more and more. Yeah,
That happened to me last night.
that happened to me a couple days ago. I think it was Tuesday. You were like, Pookie? I was like, yeah, I got it. I'm there now. Yeah, but good times, good times. Yeah, where were
Keep
you at,
wondering
Mark?
how
Did you have something ready? Oh, go ahead,
I
Andrew.
just was talking to Andrea about the lava lamps here. We were discussing little adjustments
flow rate.
and what to cap, whether to cap the pink blue one or whether it might need some more adjustments. So added some surfactant to that one. So it's gonna work through and we'll see tomorrow or Monday how that surfactant has really kind of fully affected what's going on there. Um, but yeah,
Um,
um, that was pretty much
I
it.
got something here though. Huh?
I actually kind of need
Oh,
to head
Andrea,
out.
you were saying something.
No, Mark was saying he needs to go.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
remember what I was going to
oh,
say.
all right.
Yeah. So,
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We are going to go now. We will
yeah,
be back on
sorry
Wednesday.
for an abrupt end there, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Watch some of the recorded episodes. Those are good ones too. Next week's going to be a good one. Check it out,
Every episode
especially
is a good
Tuesday.
episode. What do you mean?
Yeah, what he said.